Good. Wow, it feels like a Monday morning. Hope everybody's doing well. It is the 11 after 9. Good morning, Mary.
Now people get to see us on camera if they're watching the streaming. However, they don't get to see everything that happens before the streaming begins, which is Dave running from studio to studio to studio, being like wearing 4 hats. So anyway, but you made it.
Totally
You made it.
The intro's getting ready to fire, and I don't even have my headphones. They're at my desk.
He's in the other room, for heaven's sakes. So it's a good thing that we have a nice long intro to get you back here.
And I wasn't even
Thanks for coming back.
yet. I'm sitting here.
Because there's nothing I can do in here. I've got no controls except my own microphone. So, and that's probably good.
I got to see if we're streaming.
I don't know how to run any of the stuff that you run in there. I used to know how, and things have changed, of course, in the last few years. And I'm so glad it's you in control of all those buttons and slides and not me.
I remember after we got everything readjusted, we were still doing the veteran show with Charlie Campa, and I showed Charlie the new setup, and he's like,
"Oh boy!
Oh wow!" And I'm like, "Yep, this is like 8 levels of complicated."
Exactly. And you know, back in my day when I was sitting in your spot and running an air shift of my own, I would be on for, I think we had 4-hour shifts or something like that. And I think if I remember right, I had the midday shift. I was on from 10 to 2. And it was so totally different back in those days. But I mean, our technology around here changes every few years, it feels like. And every time there's a change, I just say, ugh, I just don't want to learn anything else. But I do, you know.
Do you want to hear something scary?
What? We're doing it again?
Yeah.
No.
It's not going to be for a while, but yeah, we're going to go from next gen to Zeta.
Great. More things for this tired old brain to learn. I'm still mad at my phone. Still screaming at the phone because I just don't understand why they made it harder to get to the things that you use the most. I don't get that. Who can I talk to? Anyway.
It's Samsung, and they're out of Korea, so I guess you got to call somebody in Seoul.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not going to win that battle, but I just don't understand why they make changes that make it... I thought every change should make it faster, easier, better. This is so much more complicated, more steps. Ugh.
I know several computer programmers, and their answer would be, we need to justify our paycheck, so we got to come up with something.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's what they're doing. But the last update was just plain stupid. So, anyway, more complaining about my phone. But anyway, I was going to tell you about a couple of things coming up. The Young Life golf event is coming around early in June, and Brian Carlson, who is working with that event, is going to join us at 9:35. Going to tell you a little bit about that. Some exciting news. It's gone from a 9-hole to an 18-hole event.
Nice.
And I'm guessing if things are the way it always has been, the money that they raise goes towards scholarships for summer camp for Young Life camps. So we'll find out more about that and how you can get a golf team signed up for that event coming up in June. So we'll tell you about that when Brian joins us at 9:35 for a few minutes. So looking forward to hearing about that. I was involved with that Young Life golf event for a number of years, and I know how much work it is to put a golf event together. Yeah, we're just doing our part to help them find some people to play in the event because they always have a lot of fun. And it's for a great cause. Sending kids to camp, what could be better, right? Yeah, okay. Anyway, okay, so President Trump signed a $1.2 trillion economic agreement with Qatar, including a $96 billion deal for Boeing aircraft and GE Aerospace engines. So the deal is expected to support thousands of American jobs and also involves contracts with companies like McDermott International, Parsons Corporation, Raytheon, Quantum, and General Atomics. Now, I'm not up on what all of those corporations do, but anyway, aerospace is kind of the theme here. So So he has signed that $1.2 trillion economic agreement with Qatar.
And it's actually a really big thing for Boeing because let's face it, Boeing's had a couple really bad years
sure
with
have.
those 737 MAX crashes. You've got whatever happened with their little space program and that Starliner. They needed a win badly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, speaking of air travel, I saw a segment this morning where the CEO of Delta was on with them, and I'm always so impressed with him. Super transparent,
Yep.
very, I mean, so articulate, and he kind of answered some of the questions we talked about yesterday, like what on earth, why on earth are we working with this antiquated equipment? And he even went so far to say that, I mean, it's going to take congressional action. It's going to take government money to make these things happen and happen quickly. He said, and the best fix we have for right now is just to not overtax the current system. So that's why they're pulling back. I think United pulled, 35 of their flights out of there every day. And so he said that's the only way that we can take care of the problem as it exists today is just to back off on, some of this traffic going in and out of some of these airports. But it was very interesting. I'm sure you can find it online, but I'm always impressed by the CEO of Delta Airlines. Just kind of a no-nonsense, here's how it is, here's what we're doing kind of a guy. So anyway, okay, so remember when we talked about Starbucks changing their attire, their dress codes? They came up with dress codes and everybody flipped out. Still the iconic green apron, but they changed the color pants and shirt. It was a black shirt, and
they gave you like 3 different options for the pants.
Yeah, okay. Over 1,000 baristas from Starbucks went on strike.
Oh, seriously?
Against the new dress codes. What?
Wow.
Okay, I take that back. Okay, so the dress code requiring solid black shirts and specific bottoms. Oh, that's what it required. So we were right on that.
Yep.
Aiming to create a more cohesive look. That's what they're trying to do. Starbucks Workers United seeks collective bargaining over that issue. Starbucks claims the strike has limited impact and urges union to return to negotiations for a contract agreement. So these are union people at Starbucks, and they are striking because they have to wear a solid black shirt and a choice of colored pants.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? How badly do you want that job?
I always go back to when they were forming the union. There was somebody crying that they were forcing him to work an 8-hour day.
Wow.
This is why we need a union, because they've got me scheduled for 8 straight hours.
Would
and
you
the
ever
guy
think
was
that
bawling.
if you took a position at Starbucks that it would be a union position?
No.
I wouldn't think so either.
You'd think it'd be to get you through college or high school.
All they want to do is have a cohesive look. It's called a uniform.
Yep.
And if you work here, this is what you wear.
Oh, if you work here, we've got guidelines on what you wear.
We do. We don't all have to wear the same thing, but we
No.
do have guidelines on what we can and cannot wear. And if you want that job, I just can't believe people are quitting or striking because they have to wear a solid black shirt.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Talk about
you're going to sprain your ocular nerve rolling your eyes on that one.
I guess, for sure. The EPA wants and plans to weaken guidelines on forever chemicals in drinking water. The change allows more time for water utility companies to filter out those forever chemicals known for their harmful effects on human health. So they're giving you more time to leave the harmful chemicals in. While water providers welcome the change, it has faced opposition for going against current law, which prohibits the EPA from weakening water quality standards. So they're going to let the standards allow more junk in our water. Is that how you understand it?
It's not allow more junk in the water. It's just no, well, it's giving them a little extra time to get it fixed.
Okay. Well, anyway,
But I
one
mean,
more thing to worry about today, right? Your water.
it'd be one thing though if you're having issues with that. The number one way to get that fixed is to tell the people whose water is contaminated with that stuff that, hey, your water is contaminated with that stuff. I bet you those utilities would get that fixed real quick
Yeah,
if they had everybody
absolutely.
breathing down their neck.
Yeah, for sure. United States drug overdose deaths dropped to a 5-year low back in 24, with a pretty significant decrease from the year previous, 2023, 26.9% decrease
Wow.
in drug overdose deaths. Now, what do we attribute that to? Synthetic opioids like fentanyl saw the biggest decline, so that's good. Most states reported lower deaths, while experts are cautiously optimistic. Alaska faces rising overdose rates due to fentanyl as its potency and prevalence pose significant risks to users. Decrease in deaths, is it this Narcan?
I do believe Narcan has a significant
And if you
thing to
don't
do
know
with
what
it.
that is, people kind of keep this on hand, police departments,
Yeah,
ambulances,
if somebody's
that sort
having
of
an
thing.
opioid overdose, you can apply Narcan and it'll reverse
Reverse,
the effects for a while, but you still have to get the person to the hospital because
but it might save their life in the
oh yeah, it
meantime.
will save their
Yeah.
life if you get them to the hospital fast enough. Because one of the things that people don't think about when it comes to Narcan, you hit them with the Narcan spray up their nose, and they wake up and they look like they're good, but all
they're
that
not.
drug
All
that
that stuff is still in their
it's still in the
system.
system. The stuff
Right.
that gave them the OD, and so when that Narcan wears off, they're gonna go back down. So it
Yeah.
kind of gives you a little bit of reprieve
To
if
get
you
into
get
the
that person
hospital.
to the hospital.
Right. Yeah. Okay, what do you think about this? We've been hearing about recently the Menendez brothers.
Yep.
They were allowed to be resentenced, and they were resentenced to life with parole.
Oh, so give them a possibility of parole now.
Possibility. But this could definitely pave their way toward freedom. It's
Yep.
the first step. They have been in prison for more than 30 years for killing their parents back in 1989. As I said, this is one step closer to a potential release after being resentenced by a California judge. Their life without parole terms were modified to 50 years to life, allowing for potential parole due to their age at the time of the murders. Found guilty back in 96, the brothers claimed self-defense, citing sexual abuse by their father. And all this kind of got stirred up again because of a Netflix documentary, and it kind of renewed the interest in the case. Prosecutors had argued against resentencing. The brothers' fate now rests with the state parole board and Governor Gavin Newsom for potential clemency. A parole hearing is set for June 13th. So I don't know where that's going to go.
It's kind of interesting, but I mean, let's face it, they killed their parents.
Right. And you know what else is really interesting? I can't understand why the Democratic Party is using Tim Walz as their kind of mouthpiece across the country. What are they thinking?
Well, he's dumb enough to shoot his mouth off left and right, and no matter where he's at.
Well, exactly right. We saw again how he was not very well received at the Minnesota Fishing Opener.
Yeah.
And in fact, you had to call or text or email or whatever his office in order to get the okay as a journalist or like one of us, a broadcaster, to even be there. And so they were only allowing certain people to come to cover the event.
Well, that's the way it always is. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
maybe when it's out on the
people-
water,
okay.
but what do you do? Because I've done several of these.
Well,
so,
and then you get the credentials. I get that.
you get the credentials, you get
But
into
what I'm-
that area, and you
what-
get to do those people.
Okay, so what I read though is a lot of people never got a return email, never got a return phone call from his office, so they were not ever granted those credentials
Oh.
and couldn't go. So anyway, he's not very popular.
No.
Certainly around here for sure. So I don't know how well he was. Where was the opener again?
Up by Brainerd.
Okay.
It was one of the lakes north of Brainerd in that area.
Okay. Well, anyway, so now he's out stumping across the country, and I don't know.
Yeah, we're in the last week of the legislature, and he's nowhere near.
Nowhere to be found. And so I heard somebody say kind of an interesting idea about why he's doing this. You know, there are consultants out there that are just making money hand over fist by telling these potential runners that, yeah, you're the guy, we can do this, we can make you. And all the while knowing this will never fly. But if he's going to pay me all this money to tell him that and build up his confidence and send him around the country, go get him.
Yeah.
Somebody else said maybe China is writing all the checks for him to be out there stumping because he's got a connection there somehow. Anyway, the Democratic Party is marching him around the country. Can we really believe that? Why would they do that?
What I think it is they've got a good idea of their top 3 or 4, preferred candidates for the next time around. I don't think Walz is one of them. And
I think so. I hope he is, actually.
I think they're putting Walz out there, so they've got somebody out there that can, run cover for the people that they want to run.
Okay.
So they've got him. Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't look at the people that we actually want.
I bet they haven't told him that it's not.
Oh, I sure wouldn't tell him.
Come
Come on, man. Go out there, be a clown.
Yeah, boy, for sure. Well, he does a great job at that. All right, coming up on 9:30, break for the markets. And when we come back, Brian Carlson joining us to talk about Young Life Golf. So stay with us.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
This is Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. When you're thinking about a memorial for your loved one, I invite you to stop in and see our large selection of memorials on display. The memorial you choose is crafted for you right here locally with an everlasting warranty. That means it's perfect, now and forever, guaranteed. Call or stop into Fergus Falls Monument or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Amplify your brand with Leighton Media. Cohesive brand strategy starts here. At Leighton Media, we'll take your business on a journey of seamless connection across all marketing platforms, radio, digital, event marketing, and more, amplifying your brand's reach and impact. Ready to get started? Connect with Leighton Media today. Our team is ready to work for you. Leighton Media, your success starts here.
Congratulations to the class of 2025 from Service Food of Fergus Falls. Fergus Falls High School is graduating 138 students. Fergus Falls Area Learning Center, 27 graduating students. And the IQ Academy of Minnesota Online, 87 graduating students. Congratulations. Celebrate your graduate without the stress. Service Food in Fergus Falls has deli platters and catering ready to go. Just call.
Service Food. Service Food.
Turn your yard into a lush paradise with Swedberg's Nursery, where your green dreams come true. Whether you're hosting a summer party or just want to spruce up your space, Swedberg's has shade trees, colorful perennials, annuals, and even ready-to-go potted plants perfect for any occasion. You'll find everything you need to create the outdoor oasis you've always wanted. Visit Swedberg's Nursery on Highway 210 in Battle Lake or shop online at swedbergnursery.com. Swedberg's Nursery, where nature meets nurture. Your landscaping journey starts here.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF Fergus Falls. Depend on it.
Good morning. Market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Grain markets mixed here as we work our way into the morning. We've got soybeans trading lower. Wheat had been trading higher, but now starting to trade mixed as well. RCM Ag Services analyst Steve Wagner says the corn market, though, has been more of a follower here today.
We had good exports this morning, but really, the corn market is struggling. July is up a penny and a half. But the new crop is 438, and that's got to be the fact that this corn crop went in so fast and so far is in good condition. Soybeans, that's a bean oil situation. Bean oil rocketed higher and took the beans up with them. But the flip side to that is when the bean oil falls out of bed, it's down 3 cents a pound, that's a pretty solid decline.
And seeing follow-through selling in the livestock complex has Wagner wondering if the cattle market has put in its top.
Looks like we've put a top in for now. I can't say it with absolute certainty, but the way the market ran up, put in new highs yesterday, and then closed lower, that's never a good sign. And so we've got follow-through selling this morning. December cattle had gotten over 210 and currently trading 204.85. I wouldn't be surprised to see another $5 come out of that cattle market simply because it has had such a strong run.
You're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
Protect your livelihood with a livestock risk protection policy through Ag Country Farm Credit Services. With an LRP policy, you're covered if the market price unexpectedly drops for fed cattle, feeder cattle, or swine. Coverage options range from 70 to 100%. Get an LRP policy from a team that knows agriculture. Contact your local Ag Country office to learn more. Ag Country, focused on ag, focused on you. Ag Country is an equal opportunity lender and provider.
In the heart of every successful farm, trust is the seed that grows the strongest bonds.
At Proceed, we're not just a company, we're a community built on trust and family values.
Our dedicated employees are passionate about supporting local farmers like you.
We know your challenges because we walked the same paths, sowed the same seeds.
We believe in building relationships that go beyond business, relationships grounded in trust and mutual respect.
Because at Proceed, you're not just a customer, you're part of our family.
The Red River Farm Network is reporting agriculture's business with the markets, farm news, and weather information you need each and every day.
Again, hats off to you, Don, and the Red River, what you guys do, connecting your listeners to what's happening and people and telling stories. You guys are doing an awesome job at it, so thank you.
That's Greg Peterson, better known as Machine Repeat. The Red River Farm Network can be heard from Worthington to War Road, from Bismarck to Bemidji, 23 radio stations, and online at rrfm.com.
Be listening for the Sugar Beet Report Thursdays at 12:50 on most of these Red River Farm Network stations. Each week, we'll talk with industry representatives, agronomists, and extension specialists and get the latest update on the sugar beet crop. The Sugar Beet Report Thursdays at 12:50 right here on the Red River Farm Network. Brought to you by Amity Technology, Beta Seed, Spinaid from Belgium, USA, Vive Crop Protection, and Gowan Company. July wheat in Minneapolis is now down a penny, 5.76. Chicago July wheat 1 1/4 higher. In Kansas City, July wheat down 1/2. July corn is unchanged. December corn down 3 3/4 at 4.36 3/4. July soybeans down 26.5 cents, 10.51 1/4. November down 23 cents at 10.38 1/4. July canola is down $23.50 a metric ton. Ouch. That's at 6.98 even Canadian. June live cattle down $1.27 at 212.67. August is down $1.97. August feeder cattle down $3.35, 298.62. The September contracts down $3.55. June hogs are down 60 cents at 98.25. July down 42 cents. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Discover unforgettable deals at FergusFallsDeals.com. Grab certificates from Tabuli or Lakes Inn at Dunvilla. Perhaps explore unique finds at Bearded Dad and Joanne New Age. Save big on entertainment with tickets from a Center for the Arts. And enjoy great offers from Running Stitches Embroidery, Elevate, and even Odyssey Steel Ink. New deals drop often. Shop and save big at FergusFallsDeals.com. At FergusFallsDeals.com.
I'll never forget the time our annual meeting nearly fell apart because our venue was too small. We were practically elbow to elbow, and it was impossible to stay focused. Then I found the Bigwood Event Center, and it was a game changer. Their space had just the right feel, roomy and flexible, whether we needed a smaller setting or a larger space, or both. They even set up an outdoor area for our team. They thought of everything. It made all the difference. Meetings with impact begin at BigwoodEventCenter.com.
Throw the ultimate grad party with help from Outpost Smokehouse. We're talking brisket, ribs, sausage, and smoked chicken. All the crowd pleasers. Enter the Diplomas and Down Home Barbecue giveaway with News Talk 1250 KBRF. You can text Outpost to 321-1926, 321-1926, or visit the News Talk 1250 KBRF Facebook page. Your party guests will thank you. Diplomas and Down Home Barbecue with News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Have you been considering switching to Buick but don't know which vehicle is best for you? The sales team at Minnesota Motor Company can help. This May, non-GM owners can receive up to $3,000 Conquest cash on new Buick vehicles. Plus, well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% APR. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
For a limited time, employee pricing for everyone at Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls. From America, for America. Get employee pricing on most new Fords. Some exclusions apply. Get a new 2025 F-150 and save up to $12,000. Buy below invoice like Ford employees and get the newest model at $12,000 off. Employee pricing for everyone from Ford and Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Stop sprinkling your ad budget around, hoping for results. Make a splash with Leighton Media. Our company has over 60 years of history and a team with over 100 employees, all strongly vested in your business success. With a strategic media approach, we optimize every investment you make with your marketing dollars to make them work better than ever. Ready to make an impact? Connect with Leighton Media today. Our team is ready to work for you. Leighton Media, your success starts here.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without... Can I have screen time? Can I have a snack? I don't want to go to Grandma's. It smells funny. And I'm bored. Bored is impossible on Kids Day at Target Field. The gate 30 for lawn is turned into Bullseye's backyard. Kids' meals are half off. Kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game. And Grandma's invited too. Enjoy your weekend wind-up with Sunday Kids Days, presented by Target. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. It is 9:38. We're back out with Morning Talk Magazine, brought to you by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company.
All right, thank you and good morning. As I mentioned, Brian Carlson joining us to talk a little bit about Young Life. And Brian and I are, we are the very first Young Lifers in Fergus Falls, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The very first year. You were a junior in high school. I was a senior.
Right.
We have great memories of a meeting in Jim and Linda Bjork's living room in their house, and there were about a dozen of us. Do you think?
Yeah, maybe up to 15.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On a good Sunday night, Monday night, whatever it was. But yeah, that's how Young Life began in Fergus Falls. And just think where we've come. So here it is, 47 years down the road, and you and I look just as young as day one.
We do,
correct?
Yeah,
I don't
crazy
know how that
happened.
we can't even lie about that anymore because now we're streaming, so they can actually see us.
Everybody can
used
see.
to be radio was okay. You could.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. People couldn't see you. You could tell them you look good. And now they know. Oh. But anyway, it's been fun to watch Young Life grow in Fergus Falls over the years. And you and I were involved even after we were done being in high school. Then as adults, we got involved as adult leaders. And so you've been hanging in there for a long time.
Yeah, we moved back in '87, and so I've been involved, in and out a couple times.
Sure.
But yeah, getting back involved now again, and so it's been fun.
Well, that's great.
So.
Well, involved this time around because you're helping with the Young Life Golf event, and this is an annual event, although it's changed a little bit this year.
Yeah, we're going. If I'm talking to you and jogging my memory, we're going back to an 18-hole event this year. We're going to be having a shotgun start at 1 o'clock on June 5th. That's a Thursday. And so, we're excited about that. And, as we've normally done, we'll have a dinner after everybody's done golfing and then just a short program. And
Palmer's serving up some great food.
Palmer's is serving up some good food. Yep. Some pork tenderloins.
Oh,
so
that
we're looking
sounds
forward
great.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is not only a fun event, but It's a great fundraiser. And as I mentioned to our listeners earlier, it supports kids who want to go to camp and probably otherwise, without an event like this, probably couldn't afford to go.
Yeah, when you look at the transportation costs now, and that's what we try to do is cover those costs so the kids don't have to, bear that. And this year the high school is going for $499, and then the middle school is going for $399. So
that's a better deal than than I think when you and I were going.
Just about. Yeah, so we're helping supplement the cost of taking kids to camp, and we just never want money to be in the way of having a kid experience a week of camp.
Right. So. Okay, so let's talk about the golf event itself.
Yeah.
And you now, by going to 18 holes, you have room for 36 teams.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's exciting. We can do that. And then we're doing all of our registration online.
Okay.
If somebody visits Otter Tail County Young Life's website, they'll see a registration link. It's a big bold link.
Can't miss it. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't miss it. And then also, if businesses want to sponsor the event, there's also a place for sponsors to go and do that as well.
Okay, well, and that's a good option too. Maybe you own or work for a business, and maybe you're not a golfer, but you would like to support this. Maybe you've got kids who go to Young Life, that sort of thing. And businesses have been great about supporting this organization.
Oh, they've been super about doing that. And if you want to sponsor a team, you can do that as well.
Okay.
And so it's
Pay
a great
opportunity. Per golfer?
Yeah, it's $125 per golfer for the event. And, Legacies they're not doing the Legends golf is not happening this year.
It ended last year.
Right,
so,
and so
if you're missing out playing on that one, hey, do we have a deal for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a bunch of us high school guys, we used to get together for the Legends, and now we're going to do it for the Young Life.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Well, it sounds like fun. Well, I know it's a lot of fun because I was involved with it for a number of years too. But I think of, and you and I have both been to summer camp.
Right.
And we know what that looks like.
Exactly.
And we know how it changes lives and changes kids and changes adults for that matter.
Absolutely.
And it really, we always say it's the best week of your life.
Exactly.
And it sounds like a slogan, but it is the honest truth.
It is. Yeah. And we don't allow any phones while we're at camp.
Yeah.
And it's incredible to see how kids change, when they don't have their phone.
Yeah.
And the way that they interact with each other.
Yeah,
and it's really cool.
Totally different. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, camp is so much fun. And now the high schoolers, typically we were going out to Colorado, but that's changed a little bit.
Yeah. So last year was the first year that we took a group of kids down to Clearwater Cove down by Branson, Missouri.
Wow.
Yeah, on Table Rock Lake. And so that, it's a great camp. And then, of course, the wildlife kids still go to Castaway, which is just up on Pelican Lake.
And you know what? We are so fortunate to have that beautiful facility 30 minutes from us.
Yeah.
People come from, kids come from all over the country to Pelican Lake.
Right. I know it, yeah.
And we think of it as, it's Pelican Lake, Minnesota. But these kids that come in from other parts of the country, they just think that we've got gold here.
It's a beautiful facility,
and
the lake is great, and they get to do all kinds of stuff. They probably don't have the opportunity to do that, you know, with parasailing and some of the other fun stuff.
Oh, so much fun! We have had so many great times at Castaway.
Yeah,
I know you and I can both say that.
Yeah,
and it's that camping experience. There's nothing like it.
Right.
For kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And anytime, I bet there isn't a football or volleyball camp that you can go to for $500 anymore.
No.
Probably
not. Right.
It's really, really gotten expensive. And that is one of the great things about this golf tournament.
Yeah.
It subsidizes, because kids that are coming from other parts of the country are paying probably double that, and more maybe.
Yeah, we know kids from Detroit Lakes area are paying $1,200 to go to camp. And so... it's really, really great that we have the opportunity to come together as a community and
do something
support
fun too. You know,
yeah, absolutely, right.
And you said a short program after the event, but it's an opportunity for while you're playing golf to find out a little bit more about the organization if you don't know too much about Young Life.
Yeah.
You might get sucked in, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Once you get sucked into Young Life, you're there, right?
Well, I think we're testimonies of that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we look forward to that event. Again, it's coming up on June 5th. 1 o'clock shotgun start, so you'll be done about dinner time.
Yeah. Yep.
Work out perfectly.
Perfectly. So
yeah. Okay, looking forward to that because the past few years it's just ended up with dessert, so it'll be nice to have a whole meal.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of a buffet for the last few years.
Oh, you did?
But
Okay.
Yeah, but I think this pork tenderloin is going
I think so too.
to be a hit.
and Palmer's does such a great job.
They
with
do.
that,
They really
too.
do a nice job, Josie.
So So again, if I want to sign up to play golf or I want to become a sponsor, everything available online. What if we're talking to somebody who says, I don't know how to do that? Is there an offline opportunity?
Yeah, if you go to Young Life's website again, or you
just
can
call the Young Life office.
call the Young Life office. We'll get you registered. Yeah, we can work with you.
Okay.
So,
yeah, if you're not technology approved.
Right.
Not everybody is. Not
No, I know.
everybody is
Yeah.
comfortable signing up online. So
Right.
there is an option for that as well.
Yeah.
So, okay, so get June 5th on your calendar and
and
get
come
a
out
team.
and have fun.
Yeah, get a foursome, $125 a person.
Yep.
And that includes a fabulous dinner right there.
Exactly.
And a
Yeah.
whole afternoon's worth
Yeah,
of
and
fun.
your green fees and a cart. And
Okay.
so you're all set.
And the knowledge that because of your $125, you're helping to send a kid to camp.
And change a life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Well, Brian, thanks for your work on this event. I know.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, John
So-
Gervais and some Paul Lundeen.
Yeah, David Schneeberger.
Dave Schneeberger. Some of
Kyle Ellison.
Yeah,
We're all working at it.
the people who have been doing this forever and ever are still doing it. So
Right.
that's great.
Okay.
Young Life gets into your blood, right?
It does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Brian, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
We'll take a short break and come back and wrap up the show for the week. So stay tuned.
I'm having a really hard time lately, and I'm worried no one will understand what I'm going through.
I feel so alone. I wish there was somebody I could talk to.
If you're looking for support, Mental Health Minnesota is here for you, with connections to others who have also struggled with their mental health and can provide support and resources. Services are anonymous, confidential, free of charge, and open 7 days a week. Connect today at mentalhealthmn.org or call 855-HERE-FOR-MN today. Sponsored by Mental Health Minnesota, the Minnesota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hey, Twins fans, it's Chris Atterbury. If the 18 innings of baseball yesterday wasn't enough, Twins are right back at it again today. Join me alongside Glenn Perkins as the Twins, like Spinal Tap said, look to take this one to 11. Chris Paddock and Tomoyuki Sagano's the pitching matchup. 10's game winning streak is the longest in the big leagues this year, and the Twins try to stretch it out. 11 o'clock is your lineup card, 11:35 first pitch.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
It's 9:49 and currently sitting in at 64. It's Morning Talk Magazine brought to you this morning and every morning by our friends at Fergus Falls Monument Company and at Pioneer Care. And I love the thought of golfing.
I know, me too. I do love to play around to golf. Oh, and it's something we never mentioned. I'm guessing, I'm talking off the top of my hat here, but pretty sure it's a scramble format. It always has been. I can't imagine they would go away from that. So even if you are not a great golfer, you can still participate because, I don't know, if it's like it used to be, there was kind of no rules in this tournament. It was just all about raising money to send kids to camp and having a whole bunch of fun and, giving people an insight into what Young Life is here in Fergus Falls specifically.
And with it being a golf scramble, maybe there's a part of your golf game that's really good. Maybe you're an awesome putter.
Right.
Like me, I'm phenomenally bad at putting.
Really? I always say if I'm playing in a scramble, we get to the green and I say, I'll putt first. I'll try to give you a line. Okay. So I try, and I'm maybe, I think I could say I'm an okay putter. Enough so that I could give you a read on speed,
read on the green,
and direction. Yeah. And then I would then based on that, 3 other better putters can take their stab at it. So that's my job. When I played a lot of golf, especially in a scramble, and being female, you get a little advance on your tee box, and so that helps a little bit. And I used to be a pretty good driver. I don't know. I haven't played much golf lately, so can't tell you. But that used to be those the beginning and the end were kind of my strengths, if I could even say that.
For me, my strength is the approach shot onto the green. I'm fairly decent with my irons, and so I'll get you on the green. You have to take it from there.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I was the very best at, and that was having fun out on the golf course. Yeah. And so this tournament, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. And it's June 5th, so you don't have too much time to think about this. A couple of weeks to get your team signed up. And I think he made a good point in that the Legends tournament is done.
Yeah.
It's not
last
happening
year was
anymore.
the last one.
So maybe if you played in that and you would like to play in another event, it just benefits another organization that you can feel good about. So,
and both of them school related or school aged.
Yeah, with kids. Yep. It's all youth related. So I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's see. How about this? I don't know if this happens at your house. Parents spend 96 hours every year arguing over screen time. I bet that's true.
It's not really an argument. It's just kind of when it's time for screen time to be done, it's a time to do something else.
Yeah.
And they listen. I mean,
I know.
The older ones would argue. Adam doesn't really argue that much because, I mean, we let them have a fair amount of screen time to start off with. But when it's time to shut her down, it's time to shut her down.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're
I know a
polite
lot of
about
parents
it,
have actual time limits on their kids' devices so that after so many hours or minutes or whatever they decide, it just goes off. They don't, unless mom or dad says, okay, I'll give you another 30 minutes, it just goes away. And that takes care of it.
Yeah, that would.
I thought it was interesting when Brian said, when we were talking about those Young Life camps, nobody at camp gets to have a phone. And I got to tell you, it's really nice. Even as a leader, I went to camp when they were still going to Frontier Ranch and in Colorado. And even the week for me, without a phone, it was heaven. And we saw kids interacting with each other. And of course, phone use, since I have been to camp, is completely taken over now.
Yeah.
So it really makes a difference. And camp is such a great experience. It's so fun.
Hey, speaking of phones, did you try the video call?
I did not. I forgot to do that.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe I should try that with you. Well, no, you don't. You have that wouldn't work with you because you have a Samsung.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to try that because I want to know. Somebody that I work with will have an Apple device, so I'll try that. I'll try to remember to do that today. Okay, so we are a week away from Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
45 million people are going to travel for Memorial Day.
I believe it.
I'm going to go 30 miles north, which I do every day.
I'm going to go 22 miles north.
Okay.
Or
North,
22
east.
miles east.
East, okay. AAA predicts 45.1 million Americans plan to travel domestically for Memorial Day. This is up 1.4 million from last year, so that many more people getting out on the road, and I hope they're getting out on the road because it doesn't sound like you want to call on a plane. Memorial Day weekend getaways don't have to be extravagant and costly, they say, while some travelers embark on dream vacations. For those of us who live in Minnesota, we kind of think of our vacations taking place in, fall and winter months when we're trying to get out of this cold. But a lot of people travel over the summer. I know you said that you and your family have traveled in the summer. Pretty much that's kind of when you guys travel.
Yeah, it's just when we can do it. I mean,
when you can get
kids,
yeah, absolutely. Anyway, it looks like if you want to hit the road, Thursday, 1 week from today, May 22nd, it is advised as the best day, and you should head out before noon. So they're telling you take Friday off. For those looking to come home, then aim to start driving before 2 p.m. on Monday, Memorial Day.
And And hope you don't have to go through the cities.
And hope you don't have to go through construction, and more construction.
Yes.
There's a lot of construction out there.
I like to say between Fergus Falls and Battle Lake, there is zero construction.
Well, you are very lucky because there is construction every way I go home to the lake. And when they said starting May 15th or 14th, which was what, Wednesday?
Yeah, 14th was yesterday.
Okay. That they were going to start road construction on Highway 108 East out of Pelican Rapids. And they weren't just a kiddin'. That whole section for about, 2 or 3 blocks, it's completely gone in one day. Gone. And it is nothing but turned up black dirt. And then it was raining as I was driving in. I thought, oh, this is going to be such a mess.
But we got to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great weekend.
Hey, want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are